Hey everybody, hey. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, so before we get started on all the juicy, spicy conversations we're going to have tonight, I wanted to say tonight's episode is being sponsored by Noir Bud. It is a black female owned CBD company. She has teas and topical candies, and you guys can go to her page at Noir Bud. That's Noire Bud Bud on Instagram, and you can go to www.noirbud.com. So this episode is being sponsored by the lovely Carolyn Gray, the owner of Noir Bud. So I would not recommend you take these in the morning. It is CBD based. I did try the G Mint right here. What it does is it definitely elevates your calm and calms you down. So I was able to sleep really, really good after I took this. Yeah, and it tastes really good. You just go ahead and boil water and put it in your cup and add some natural sweetener. I would not recommend putting sugar in it. So put like agave or either like honey to it. And it tastes really, really, really good. So I recommend that everybody go and follow her page. I do have an ad on my page where I'm basically just displaying the CBD tea and the candy on here. And definitely go out and buy and support. It's black owned, black female owned company, Noir Bud. So we're just giving Michelle a couple of minutes to show up. 1 second. One second. One, two, three. You know, I thought that, no, that's not what I want to do. I thought that when you're doing this, that if I'm like sending it to someone, that it won't have me out here looking crazy like this, but it actually does. Here you go, Michelle.
Ooh, it's hot. Hi, Michelle. Yes, we
Hi,
have
how are
great
you?
connection. We have great connection tonight. Thank you. Thank you. I know the first time we did this, we had some errors here. So I
But
want to
that's okay.
introduce,
We're good tonight.
yes, we are. So I want to introduce sexologist Michelle Hope. If you missed the first live we had, that is okay, because tonight we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. If you could just kind of give everybody just like a briefing of who you are and exactly what you do.
So I am a sexologist and I study human sexual behavior. People think I focus primarily on genital act, but let me tell you, sex is in everything we experience. And when I say sex, I really mean sexuality. So it covers, one of my sayings is like, from the womb to the tomb, baby,
Right.
sexuality is a part of your life. So it's everything from identity and identity politics to wage gaps to reproductive health access and maternal mortality rates, sensuality, which is really feeling really good about the sex you have and being great in your own skin, as well as sexualization, which kind of looks at how people use sex to influence people, whether it's a Hardee's commercial for a burger or, on the very violent and all of these things, right? So on a very innocent space of like sexualization, it could be flirting. I say the middle of the road is ad campaigns, sexuality to sell stuff. And then on the most violent end, you see things like sexual assault and incest. So I look at media, society, how sexuality kind of plays with all of that. I am super interested in looking at the sexuality of social justice.
Okay.
because we can't separate race from sexuality.
Yes.
And it's those intersections and intersectionality in general that I really focus my activism on. So thank you for having me. I'm so happy to do
I'm
this
so
tonight.
happy that we're here tonight and we're able to redo it. I know you've been out in the streets. You've been out there protesting. I've seen
Yes.
everything you've been doing. You've been documenting what you've been doing. You're out there like a little superhero. You're out there doing the work. You're doing
Yeah, I
all the
mean,
work.
you know, it's the work looks different for every person, and I've just been very lucky to be in a space where I can lend myself, my body, my expertise in a way to create social justice, right? It's been a heavy summer.
Yes, it has
That,
been. We
honey,
definitely we're still in the thick of it right now because we don't even know what the hell is going on. So I wanted to just kind of like take all the conversations out that we've been having about everything that's going on and let's just kind of like just lighten it up a little bit. So you have a map
yes.
on your page that says this is like the most searches that people are, well, women are doing on Pornhub, correct?
Yes.
Is that the
Yes.
okay?
And that
So
is data.
explain to me exactly what some of that is, because I looked at it and then I looked at, like, you know, in certain areas what people are searching for. I seen like a lot of ebony lesbians on one side. I seen like cartoon like searches on Pornhub. I've never seen a cartoon porn before, or anime. So just kind of break that down to us, like exactly what that is on your page.
Oh yeah. So this, and you know, a lot of people are asking me if this was real. This is actually data that Pornhub kind of crunched the number on the back end of their analytics of who is going where. You know, in 2019, there were 42 billion visits to Pornhub. And I think that we've probably seen a great increase of visits to porn sites since the pandemic, because we're all kind of stuck in our houses.
Right.
And what the data is that's on my page is basically showing the locations and what was searched for or what was viewed the most in those locations. So it's interesting to see and this was for women. This was a map specifically for women. And I got a lot of people like kind of questioning this idea of like, why are straight women watching women on women porn? Well, just
it's interesting.
It is.
It's very interesting.
I mean, I'm the first. It's two women having sex. Well, honey, that's right. Like, I don't care what your orientation is.
Right.
Visually watching that can be very, very sexy. So I think,
and stimulating.
You know, that's
it can be
part
very
of the
stimulating at that too.
And that doesn't mean that you want to engage in that kind of behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's the most important thing, is that it's not about what you want to act on. It's what you want to watch, or what brings you to a space of arousal and excitement. So interestingly enough, that there were 42 billion Pornhub visits in 2019, that breaks down to about 115 million visits a day. So, like, we out here watching porn, honey. We are watching that porn. Fine. That's perfectly fine. I did notice that a lot of people questions around what is, like, they've never heard of hentai.
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. What is that? What is that exactly?
So hentai of anime, like Japanese anime porn. And it sometimes is a bit bizarre, and sometimes it's a bit, or what people might think as bizarre, but usually it is anime. And oftentimes the body parts of the characters, the genita, the characters in hentai, are over exaggerated. So they might have incredibly large breasts, right? Or an incredibly large penis. Additionally, the characters look like anime characters. So the really big eyes, a smaller chin and face, but sometimes multicolored hair, and it can sometimes be incredibly aggressive. It's really interesting but it comes from Japanese, and yeah. So that is what hentai is.
So I know we wanted to kind of like divulge into like the like porn. Like we're gonna talk about porn tonight. So I had said to you, like, I think that porn kind of like ruined me at an early age when I first saw it, just because the expectations that I had of what sex would be like compared to what I saw very early on at a young age, it just didn't match up. And I just wondered, like, why am I not screaming as loud as she's screaming? Or like what the hell is going on here? So like my first sexual experience, I compared it to what I thought it would be like in the porno videos that I actually like snuck and watched as a little girl. So I mean, can you just explain like what exactly like happens with porn, like reality versus porn?
Well, so best way I describe the difference between pornography and what is like real sex is that pornography is similar to like a horror film, right? We like horror films and they're awesome and people are squirting blood everywhere and they're like forever to die. It's all fantasy,
Right.
it's all made up. Porn is very similar. The idea that women are going to squirt ejaculate across the room, not a thing. It's not happening. The idea that everybody has huge cocks, also not realistic. And a lot of and vulvas. Okay, I want to say this. Vulvas, the porn vulvas, right? A large portion of women who engage in porn have been surgically altered, whether their breasts have been done or they may have had labiaplasty, which is where they trim the labia to be perfect.
Yes.
Because let's face it,
the
honey,
design of vaginas.
of us is out here with that walk looking like Nemo. You got one wing that's a little bit smaller than another wing.
Right.
But
So,
that's not what we really see. So it gives us this false sense of reality of what sex is going to be, right? And I think I sat on a panel with a porn star once, and she was talking about, you know, for a 5-minute scene, they might shoot that for 8 hours, right? So even the idea of like how women get wet, you know, to go through the human sexual response cycle and for women to get into the space of arousal towards the space of plateau, which is right before you orgasm, you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 women. But it seems like in these porn videos, they just drop their clothes and they pussy just gushing.
And it's just squirting everywhere.
And
everybody just so aroused. Your bed is going up and down. This is like, I'm just not doing that. It's just not happening like that for me right now.
I'm trying to tell you. And then when you think about it, like when they have anal sex, wow, people can prepare for anal sex. You know, there's not much truffle butter in none of them videos. Okay, they ain't no doodle see very often in the videos, but that's not real because when you're engaging in anal sex and there's a high likelihood that there will be a little bit of discoloration. So I just find it really interesting how porn leads us to believe we're supposed to perform in the bedroom a specific way, and it's not real. And for all the shit that I talk about porn, because it can impact the gray matter in your brain. It can lead to erectile dysfunction in men and problems ejaculating. There are ways that you could utilize porn with your partner to explore new things in the space of sex acts by saying, hey, I saw this porn. I want to know what you think. And that's a great way to test the waters.
How can you introduce that though to your partner? I mean, instead of saying like, hey, but like if you have someone maybe like a little bit more introverted, maybe not just sexually experienced, how can you just introduce that to your partner in a healthy way and not make them feel uncomfortable about it? Because I mean, I've been to places and guys have just had porn on and it's just like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that's on the TV
well,
like that.
I think that, yeah, that's, you know, I think think what is a good idea is to have conversations with your partner before you turn porn on, and kind of just check in like, hey, maybe tonight we can try something new. Why don't we watch some porn together? Right? So this idea that you use it as a tool versus a crutch, you know? And then if your partner doesn't like a specific kind of porn channel, you know, stop the video. We can't make assumptions that people are going to be into everything we're into. While you can use porn as an opportunity to kind of say, hey, what are your feelings on this? We have to really understand that porn has some problems. First and foremost, somebody commented on my post about one of the cities that liked surprise anal. And their comment was, oh, surprise anal. So basically sexual assault. And you know, to that, if you haven't gotten consent to do something sexually, right, you're in gray territory. Surprise anal would definitely be problematic because that's how Kobe got in trouble. God rest his soul. He did a lot of good things afterwards. Well, let's just keep it real. We can't sugarcoat it. That's what the case was about. And I think he definitely worked hard to redeem himself from that by putting money in spaces and working in community. But I often wonder how much of that type of behavior is brought on by people watching porn and thinking it's okay.
It's okay. Right. I understand what you're trying to say.
Right. Because
we kind of skip over the consent or the conversation because we're watching this fantasy that it just feels like, you know, we can just walk up to a perfect stranger and this chemistry is going to happen and we're going to just have this awesome, you know, bed squeaking kind of sex, but that's not necessarily realistic. So
girl,
how do we have that conversation about that? About
girl,
reality
I once had a man
heroin?
try to fish hook me.
Exactly. What is that?
Hello. That's what I was
What is it? What is a fish hook?
Girl, this gentleman that I was indulging in some sex with, he was fine too. It was a shame. It was a shame, shamedy shame. From hitting it from the back, the person kind of reached around, stuck their fingers in my mouth and started to pull. And I was like, stop the press.
I've never. So what exactly is it supposed to do?
I don't know what that did for that person, but I know it took my wop to dot real quick.
It got dry. Real dry,
I know
real
that
fast.
it took my wop to dot. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. See, what we not gonna do today is this. And then I asked the person, I was like, where did you learn this? And I could kind of tell during the intercourse with this person that they had watched a lot of porn. Like the moves that they were doing was a little extra aggressive. And so I totally stopped intercourse and I said, you know, we need to have a conversation. Like, how much porn are you actually watching? And the person responded with like, you know, a few times a week. I said, well, let me tell you something. As a grown-ass woman, these moves don't work on me, baby boy. So I'm going to need you to reconfigure your situation because this, it's not okay. But what happens is I have found in my work, men, and just like you said, it ruined your first porn experience. But I have heard a lot of men say, I go to porn to learn new moves. And I just am thinking like,
that's not where you want to go. I don't think that's where you. I think it can be used. I think it can be used, like you said, just like a healthy conversation. We can have a healthy conversation about porn. We can kind of explore it together. It's just a little side note, like something a little extra. I don't think it should be the Bible, though. Definitely not the Bible. Not the Bible for me, of course. I really think you have to have a conversation with your partner about what are their do's and don'ts. And what you're into and what you're not into, because that could definitely be a very unhealthy sexual experience. And bunny hopping and jumping and throwing me all around, like I'm, you know,
chill.
You know what I mean? I don't.
And please
I'm
don't
gonna
try
need
to
you to
stick your
relax a little
thumb.
bit. In my
Yeah,
butt.
don't stick your thumb in my asshole.
Don't
Like
stick that.
like the
I didn't ask for
surprise anal.
that.
No, no.
And you know what? Another thing is, I think that when you have those type of sexual experiences, and if you embarrass that person by letting them know, like, I don't really like that, please don't shame and say, oh, well, you're kind of corny and you're a prude, because then that's the next thing. You know, defense is always the next line after you tell somebody, I don't really like the way that feels, or I don't
Well,
like the way that made me feel.
well, I appreciate that, because just because somebody says I don't like how that feels, that's me not shaming you for the act. That's me just drawing
Right, but people still
a
get defensive. A man can still get very defensive that I don't really like that. That made me feel really uncomfortable. Like I don't really
and it's my
finger
hope
up
that,
my butt.
yeah, I really hope that people will look at that as a way of just communicating. Nobody is to tell you that you're a bad person. It's just like, don't do that. Now, the other thing about porn that is really problematic, we've already talked about the fact that there is no consent. Rarely do you see condom use in a lot of these porns. And sometimes it's really violent towards women. Like
Yeah.
the blowjobs to where they're gagging and throwing up and eyes are watering. And what we have to remember is porn is kind of like crack or alcohol or weed.
Mm-hmm.
The more
It's a
you
vice.
consume, and the more you consume, the more you have to consume to get off. So
Okay.
you end up going down these kind of sick and twisted rabbit holes of more and more violent porn. And if you really believe in Black Lives Matter, you should be paying for your porn, because Black people, Black women especially, are the least paid. They're oftentimes exploited in the porn industry.
Yep.
And you should really try to, and most of the time all women are, but you should really try to find ethical porn, which ethical porn is usually more, goes through the female gaze. It doesn't go through the male gaze, because most of the porn out there is through the male eyes. Trust me, to anybody watching this right now, man, woman, in between, you find some female directed porn, which is usually more ethical porn, you're going to find some hot ass pussy popping. Let me tell you that right now. Female porn, like there's one called eroticfilms.com, and it was formerly eroticfilms.com. It's now Elise Cinema. Really, 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 really good. It definitely is not safe for work. That is one of these kind of ethical porn sites. Now, if you like amateur porn, okay, there's a website and a social networking site called Make Love Not, where you can actually load your own videos. So maybe you and your partner want to make a little porn. Hey.
Okay.
Put on some masks, do the damn thing, and set up your profile, and you have your own little porn site. Pink Label TV is another really good, again, it was by Sunshine Lewis Houston. So it's, again, focused from a female gaze and is directed by women. And I'm all for it. And I think that if you really want to kind of maybe find some more personal porn, you can always do OnlyFans, because there's many apps that can connect you to a sexual experience. Like, I think we lump porn into these major websites like XNXX, Pornhub. There's another one like RedTube, I think, is another one. And those are the majors, right? They really push a lot of Vivid Films, which is a huge porn production company. But there are a lot of other spaces that you can find porn. If you really want to support Black people, Jet Set Jasmine, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Jet Set and King Noir. You want some hot, Black directed, Black starred in, Black produced, Jet Set Jasmine and King Noir. Whew, Lord, I just got goosebumps. I literally just got goosebumps
I'm
thinking
definitely gonna
about
check out all of those. I'm gonna check out those sites, and I'm definitely gonna check out those people. Where else could anybody find you besides Instagram? How can someone get in contact with you, and what type of services do you provide?
Oh, thank you for asking. So I do couples, singles, like sexual education kind of programs.
Okay.
So it's a coaching program where we kind of evaluate your past, your present, and what you want for your future when it comes
Okay.
to your sex, love, and relationship life. And you can just go to my Instagram page. My email address is on there. My website, www.mhsexpert.com, or email me at info@mhsexpert. But you know, I'm here. I'm here for you. They could DM you. You can over my way.
Okay. I definitely will be able to send people out and let them know how to get in contact with you. I know people have lots of questions. I don't know if anybody wanted to use the question feature at the bottom before Michelle leaves, because I know that she is very busy and she took out the time out of her day to come and have this conversation with me. And I definitely do appreciate you.
Anything
Is
for
there
you, girl.
is there anything else that you have that's coming up that we should stay tuned for and look out for? Because I know you do Just the Tip Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yes, I have been a little last, this
Okay.
Tuesday I was working the polls because I was a poll worker,
Okay.
which,
POLL.
and then
POLL.
which is a far different poll than I'm used to. Because if you had told me, 15 years ago
Right.
that I would switch polls, I'd be like, no, 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 no. This is the pole I work, and I would swing
But it's all
around it
everything
and
comes full
swing around it.
circle. Comes full circle though. Everything
Absolutely
has
full
come full
circle.
circle.
I'm going to be doing a class series. I just finished a Sex Magic month-long workshop in October, and I'm going to be rebooting an adult sexy ed class for the month of December. So keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
You'll be able to register for that. It's really, really fun.
Will
We're
it
going to
be
go over a
virtual?
lot of stuff. It will be virtual because that's how we live these days.
That is a
So I
fact.
want in fall.
Okay.
You can come and
Okay.
check it out. But I do appreciate you allowing me the time to chat with you about porn.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that everybody listened and wrote down what she said, what sites to look at, who to support when it comes to the industry of porn, and definitely please ask for consent. Please, in all areas, please. Consent is major, 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 major. So I'm going to let Michelle go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. I definitely do appreciate you. Okay. I
Thank
will
you.
keep everybody posted on how to get in contact with her, and you can DM me and I definitely will forward you over to her. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Michelle. I definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
So we have 2 more minutes because we also know that sex therapist Jen is coming on in like 2 minutes to talk about masturbation. So stay tuned because this was a 2-for-1 special tonight. I mean, with everything going on yesterday, today, this year, last month, I mean, I think that we just all need to just have like a nice little conversation. Political people that's calling my phone. I have no idea who that is that keeps calling, but they definitely do call. So I'm just waiting for Jen to show up and we can go ahead and start the second part of it. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I don't have the request. 1 second. Oh, it's hot. Woo! Just give Jen a couple of seconds to kind of tune in. It is so hot, y'all. It's so hot in this living room with this light. Jen,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Everybody, this is sex therapist Jen. I hope that they
Hi.
can see. It's so hot in this living room because it's cold. And it was cold and I had the heat on, and then now it's like warm outside today, and
I hear
I'm a
you.
mess. I'm just hot.
Yeah, I don't know what's
So
going on. I guess this is global warming at its best now.
if any of you guys missed sex therapist Jen when she came, we had an amazing conversation. If you have questions, you can hit the question button at the bottom and ask questions while we're on this live. So we're definitely going to talk about masturbation. I'm just going to let you go ahead. I don't know if they can. I hope the connection is good because this connection has been choppy. Instagram is not solid. I swear to God, it isn't.
So many people are on it now. That's what happened.
Hey, you think that's what it is?
I don't know. That's like my guess is that everybody's on, especially with Jen right now. Like everybody's just on there a little bit more. I don't know. But I'll introduce myself. Smith. I am a marriage and family therapist, mental health therapist, and sex therapist in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, like the DMV area. And so I was on here, like, I guess it was like a few months ago. Maybe that was like the beginning of the quarantine.
Yes, I sourced out Jen. I actually found Jen, reached out to Jen if she would like to come on the show, and she agreed, and we had a blast. She let out some gems for everybody. Definitely had a conversation about, knowing your body and knowing what turns you on and what pleases you. So, hence the conversation tonight about masturbation.
Yeah.
I think there's a delayed on your end and my end, but I think we'll be good though. So go ahead, Jen. If you can hear me, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said I think it's a delay on my end. So
Okay.
let me see. I'm gonna X you out and then put you back in, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it again. Let me do it again because this is crazy. Here we go. Hopefully it'd be better if I send her the request. Yo, I don't know what's going on with this live. This live is just like not really messing with us like that.
And we're back.
Better. Yes, a little bit better. A little bit better. It's better. It's better and better. So we wanted to have the conversation about masturbation, and you said that you had some toys.
I do. They're all sitting right here in my lap.
Yes. Let's get into it because, like I said, this election in all of my years, we knew who the president was the day we voted. It is
Right.
Thursday. And then we won't know tomorrow either. So I want to talk about something else.
Something fun,
sex.
right?
Yes, something fun. Something you can do by yourself.
Well, you can do it by yourself, but sometimes it's fun if your partner entertains you with these toys. So, but some of the reasons why masturbation is great because it actually brings down stress. It brings down anxiety. It increases the endorphins. It helps relax your body. So, like, masturbation is not just for like sexual. It actually does a lot for your body, your mind, your spirit, your energy. That's why I decided to want to talk about masturbation is because I meet a lot of people in therapy just don't masturbate. So my theory always has been if you don't know how to pleasure your own body, you won't find a partner who can either.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, so any of the toys that I show here tonight, I will send you the links and then you can post them. Because it was like too hard to try to figure that out. So one of my go-tos is masturbation.
Really?
Yes. So if you can see like they have like a bunch of different grooves on them and each finger is a different type of pattern also.
Okay.
So these can be used obviously vaginally, or you can rub these on your clit, or if you're a man, this would be good for masturbation against your shaft, with the different groups on here. You can use them in the shower, which are great when they're all soapy. But you can also put lubricant on these, which is also good. People don't often think that you can use lubrication when you're not having sex with somebody else, which you totally can.
Okay.
I actually recommend that. That actually helps me get stimulated a little bit more when I'm using actual lubricant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What lubricants would you recommend?
I recommend Wicked. Wicked is a vegan-based lubricant, and it is safe for you to use orally and vaginally. So most people don't realize that any other types of lubrication that's flavored has sugar in it. Sugar is not good to sit in the vagina. That's what causes yeast infections and causes us to throw our pH balance off. So I use a vegan-based product because it's specifically made for oral, so that can help with giving a blowjob. And then also you can use it vaginally, and then you don't have to worry about getting a yeast infection afterwards if you don't shower right away.
It's very important that you shower afterwards anyway, though. That's crazy.
True. It's very important to shower before and after.
Yes, I didn't know. So you mean those little packets of little jelly looking lubricants that they give out? Those are a no. Don't use those.
No, I mean, and some of those are okay if you're using them for anal, or you're just, you can use one to give a hand job, which I actually like. It's a lot easier. It makes my hands glide a lot faster, because saliva holds a lot of bacteria.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Is out here right now.
Right. It's real. Careful. So it's always safe to just wash your hands, wash your body, wash your toys, because that's a whole thing. I posted these toys last week, and somebody was like, "Why are you washing them?" And I was like, "Because you need to wash them. Even if they're my own, they still have germs and bacteria on them. So I still need to wash them."
So what else you got?
So I have a second glove. This one has different texture to it. This one's a little more intense.
I see.
Yeah, this one's a little more intense. This one is very good for anal play because of the different grooves. And so and these are good gloves because you can use these with or without a partner. So that's what I really like. I've done a couple masturbation parties. I've hosted them, and people always buy these and really enjoy them. So
I've never seen the gloves before, and I used to work at a sex toy store. That must be a 2020 thing, or a late 2000 thing.
I've had these gloves maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, that's a new thing. I've never seen those before. I've never even heard of those before.
Yeah, so I just got this new toy, and it's called a romp. And I will post the link for this also. My business partner sells toys, and she was so nicely gifted me this toy. And I have been using it probably 3 or 4 times a week because it's so damn strong. So I'm going to turn it on. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
Yes. I can hear it. Does it need batteries, or do you charge it?
You charge it. So I'm going to change the pulse pattern.
Is gonna be
strong. I'm going to change the pulse pattern on it. Yeah, it's so strong.
Yeah. I can hear it.
It's so this is my new favorite masturbation toy. I'm very excited to eventually get to try it with a partner because putting this on I take that back. I've already used this with a partner, just not this one. I've used one that's very similar to this.
What's the price point on that one? What's the price point on that?
I think this one is $70 or $80, which is pretty reasonable. It's great texture. It's it comes with a charger. I took it home with me a couple weeks ago. I threw it in my suitcase. It was perfectly fine. It was very durable. And these are all waterproof too. Most of the things I'm going to show you are for waterproof also, because using these toys in the shower is a whole different experience. and I want people to like really think about too of doing it. It's just like no different if you have a partner. You can masturbate in a different area and you can masturbate in different positions.
Right.
And I think that people need to add that variety to their masturbation lives so they don't feel like they don't want to. Because I hear that a lot of people are like, it's the same old thing. And I'm like, that's what you said when you had a partner too. So obviously it's something we have to change about you. So changing positions and changing locations.
How can we take away the stigma though when it comes to masturbation? Because I know there's like a stigma, like, you know, people feel uncomfortable about touching themselves, like, you know, they're doing something bad.
Well, I think people have to realize that we all got here. We have to normalize it.
Right.
We have to normalize it. We all got here because somebody had sex.
Right.
And so it's your body, right? And you feed it, you wash it, you take care of it, you dress it. So why not take care of those other intimate parts just the same?
I think those are still conversations. I think, you know, some people are really like embarrassed. You know what I mean? I think it's embarrassing, and I guess basically just like trauma centered around, you know, touching yourself.
Totally. There is a lot of trauma. I think for a lot of women that I've talked to, it's about a lot of shame. Mm-hmm. People project shame onto people for masturbating, but it's your body, it's your health. It's part of your sexual health, your mental health, emotional health. Okay. So it's a release, and it's something that your body needs, and that's okay. I think the more we normalize and talk about it and have conversations, I hope that will change for people and they won't feel that shame or guilt about doing it.
I think, I mean, I guess it boils down to like just trust too. You know what I mean? Well, like trust, like expressing that. Like I think, I mean, 90% of the guys that I've probably been with have masturbated. You know what I mean? It's just, people masturbate on the train. I live in New York City. People masturbate right on the train, like, right in front of you. Right in front of you. And you're like, okay, no. I mean, and I guess, like, you know, that's the creepy part of masturbation, but that's not the same type of masturbation that
I'm saying change locations. I didn't say do it in public. That's a whole different story. I don't want to be responsible for anything like that. But I think, you know, it is important to bring some variety to it. And that's why we're, you know, showing toys. So I like to often bring some things that people maybe not as familiar with. So like I posted these last week and people were like really excited about them. I had a lot of questions. So these are glass dildos.
I've seen those in porn, but I've never used those before.
Okay. So
I've never used those before.
For women, and let me just say that all the things that I showed before this were for both partners. You could use it for a man or for a woman. But these could be used for both also. But these are glass dildos, and like they're pretty like good weight. I don't know what the weight is on these, but they're like a good weight, not too heavy. And you could put them in the freezer. That is what changes the game when you put them in the freezer.
My face. You're like, and then you put them in the freezer. I'm like, oh, okay. You put them in the freezer, and then what else happens, Jen? What else happens after that?
Then you use them, and the sensation and the texture of how cold it is up against your warm, soft vagina is orgasmic.
Really? You know, when I see people using that, I'm like, yeah, I wonder if that is painful. You know, when you go in a sex toy, they have them in glass, and I wondered if they were painful.
No, they're not painful. I mean, they're very smooth. They have very smooth, like, nothing about them. Now, you can get some other ones that have some different things, and they, you know, they may be for more like pain, but not. I like something very nice and not gonna hurt me. So yeah, these are really great. I got these at the Sex Expo that's usually in Brooklyn every year. I got these like a couple years ago, and they have definitely been my favorite ones. And I've traveled with these, and they've hung out pretty well. But putting them in the freezer is a game changer. So if you're looking to add some variety, get you a glass one, put it in the freezer.
You bring those out. You're definitely gonna change the game. It's gonna be a long night. Long night.
So I forgot my male masturbator. I have to go grab it. But
okay, go ahead and grab it. Okay. People are not asking questions. Somebody ask some questions, okay?
I know somebody got questions, or they're taking notes or something.
Because people were salty last time you left, and people had a lot of things to say. I have never used those glass things. They look painful. I mean, I don't know what they're supposed to do, but literally,
Okay.
everybody's screaming, yes, freezer. Look at that, yes, freezer.
Oh, this is actually a male masturbator, and this is from Tanga's like a very popular male masturbation line. And so, where's my... So they usually look like this if you take the wrap. But when you open them up, they feel like a vagina.
Is it cyber skin?
It's cyber skin, and then it's already lubricated inside.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So you literally put your penis in there, and you have to hear the suction. Do you hear that?
It sounds squishy. It sounds squishy. It sounds real squishy. They probably upgraded that cyber skin from when I was in them stores.
Oh,
like that.
it's thick, honey. It's thick. Yeah, like, and this is like plenty wet now. Like, it's very lubricated in there. So yeah, like these, a lot of times people refer to them as pocket pussies. Right. Yeah, but they're just male masturbators. Tanga is like the best brand, I think, anyway, because they feel real. They feel like real vaginas.
So when you stick your finger in there, because I'm telling you, my experience with cyber skin was like, it felt like, what did it feel like? It felt like slime. That's what it felt like to me.
It feels just like a vagina if you put lubrication in there. Okay, you put lubricant in there, that's what it feels like. And so a lot of and I've like asked guys too, like, you know, hey, can you like let me know like if this really is what you think it feels like? But even when I used it, like I taught like a sex education class a few weeks ago, and I took this, and the women were like, "Oh my God, this feels like a real vagina. Like this feels like me." Like I was like, "Well, I'm glad that that's the case."
Like at the sex toy store, like this, like
which you can't.
My homeboy said, "And you ain't gotta buy a dinner. You are toxic. You are toxic." Okay?
And they have different ones. They have some that look like your favorite porn star's mouth. They have them that, you know, like they taste different. Like they have all different kinds now. So those are really fun to have too, like to just add some variety to your masturbation life.
Any questions in the questions, comments, or concerns for Jen? Because I'm still on the glass. So, okay, so since nobody wants to ask any questions, so I can't have an orgasm with a toy. Like I need a person to be attached to the penis. So what would that be like? Or how would I like incorporate those glass, you know, dildos into my sex life? Like how would I even like try to do something like that? Because again, you know, my mind says pain when I look at those. We gotta have a squirting talk.
So you would want to use one with a partner? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I would probably have to use one with a partner. I don't think that I'm going to be able to get off by myself with the glass dildos.
Well, you could always use it, and he could be sucking on your clit at the same time.
Oh, okay. That can work. That can also work.
Sometimes, depends on how frisky you're feeling.
Okay.
Guys will like it if while you're having sex, you're actually sucking on a dildo.
If that's really into like that.
So you could be sucking on that dildo while having sex. I mean, that could be an option.
I think he wants me to touch him more so than anything. He probably
okay. All right. Well, for anybody else watching, that's an idea for you.
Yeah, that's the idea. I'm like, but some live either. So I'm like, I can't even ask you. Like, would you be into that?
Good foreplay though. I mean, like for foreplay, like I've used those glass dildos where he's actually like penetrating me with it, but he's sucking on my clit at the same time.
Oh, y'all was getting lit. It was going down.
That was just foreplay. I mean, like, you know, so there's just different things that you might be willing to try, but again, this is about variety and switching it up, because when the more you work on your own orgasms and your own masturbation routine, the better lover I believe that you really are.
Right.
Because you're open to different things. Everybody's not going to have the same sex style that you're with. So you need to be able to have a big bag of tricks to be able to bring in with the next person, to just keep things changing and fresh. And I think it's amazing what they've been able to do with toys over the last 10 years. So
yes.
There's something for everybody. And I think that if you're just apprehensive and trying something with a partner, then this is the perfect time to do it. Like this pandemic, if you're home and you want to be able to just add some variety in your life, like do it. I mean, you'll never regret trying to pleasure yourself.
Right. So I have a question, because, you know, sometimes I hear this from like certain guys, and I think me and you are having this conversation off camera where I was like, you know, I have homeboys who would be like, you know, my partner is not like really as sexual as I may want them to be. Like, what advice would you have for someone like that? Because I always say it's, you know, if you just have a conversation about, you know, what is it maybe she wants to do, you know, maybe you guys can come to like some type of common ground. So what advice do you have to say to someone who is in a relationship and like their sex life is like suffering just a little bit?
I would suggest going to the sex toy, like adult store together, or looking at toys online together.
Okay.
I like going to the adult store together, because most of the stores that you go to, the products are going to be out in the open and you can actually touch them and turn them on and feel what the vibration feels like, or read the instructions, or the staff there are really informed. They'll be able to explain what the toys are. And that just gives you like an open dialogue where you are to really talk about what is it that you'd be willing to try. Oh, this looks interesting. Like, what do you think about getting this? You know, like it just opens up your mind to all these other things that you weren't considering, maybe just in like a closed conversation at home. And I think it's better when you can actually be active and look at different things and see what you both would be willing to try.
I haven't been to the toy store in a while. I used to work near 42nd Street, so that's where all like the little peekaboo, little peep shows and all kinds of stuff is there. So I haven't really had a chance to actually go there, but I am gonna go. You said it's called Romance Depot, correct?
Yeah, Romantic Depot is huge in New York. Yeah.
I saw it. It's on like Broadway. Like it's more so uptown. It's like around like where, like I know where it's at. So I'm definitely gonna go and look and see what they have. They have a lot of different toys. And you like just start getting a whole bunch of stuff. Because I used to have a lot, and then, you know, you change partners, you just kind of like throw away all that stuff that you used to use, and just, you know, start slowly but steady starting to get and buy your own toys again.
Yeah. Some of the like toys I've recommended the most for people that have been in the quarantine and working from home is getting the vibrators that go in your panties for women, and like your partner can hold the remote. So like you guys are at home together, you know, you're working from home, like one person's in one room, the other person's in the other room, like that person's turning on the toy. Get you all ready up for later.
Can you imagine you sitting at work and you get the whole goddamn time? Imagine your partner's in the living room and you're at work and they want to play and they're going the whole time while you're at work. Because guys are ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Guys are ignorant and they will do that. That's crazy.
But then you're like, your body is already warmed up. Like you've already cut the foreplay down, like the foreplay time down, because you may only have, like you have a baby, you have a daughter, like
so like a whole functioning household, but we make it work though. I will say this, we've been making it work lately. I mean, in the beginning it was kind of hard, but I will honestly say this: Gray has never woken up while we were having sex, like ever. Like he must know, like he must know, like that baby has never. Like that whole, all the babies crying, let me grab it. That has never happened to us. Like immediately afterwards, this baby will pop up like, y'all finished? Or y'all good? Oh, okay. Now I have to get up because she has to breastfeed me. So like, I hope y'all done and you done.
Right.
She belongs to me. For 15 months, this baby has never woken up during any intimate moment me and his father has had, like
That's
ever.
amazing. That's
Like,
not what I'm hearing from other parents. So you're very blessed.
So I said that's dope and a blessing. I have 2 children in here, so that's never happened. Like no one has busted through the door. Nobody has done any of that. So I'm very, very grateful to that. So I'm definitely. And how important is foreplay? Because I mean,
Oh my
I used
God.
to think it wasn't, but I was young back then. I was in situations where I just wanted to hurry up and get it over with. And thank God I'm in those, out of those unhealthy situations.
Yeah, no, foreplay is very important, especially for women. People don't realize. So and guys just kind of like roll their eyes like, oh, like she, it takes her so long to get ready. When you warm up the body and get the blood flow going and actually get the blood flow going in the vagina, like you have a better chance of actually having an orgasm.
Right.
When you're warming up the body. So it's frustrating to me when people are like, oh, like we spent like a minute, 2 minutes. It's like, okay, like when you're exploring your body in masturbation, you then learn how long it takes for your body to warm up or what you need to happen to get it going or for you to feel aroused. Like people don't spend enough time talking or thinking about like what actually arouses them. And gets them to that point that they actually want to have foreplay, want to have sex. So I think foreplay is very important. It's for women who, especially have not been having orgasms, take this time to explore what actually you need in foreplay and how long you need it to be. And I would encourage men to do the same. Most men know what they want, and then some haven't had a partner where they could actually explore it enough. So I'd really like to see men be able to explore a little bit more of what they need in foreplay, more than just like a blowjob, which is part of foreplay. But I'm like, there's other things too you might enjoy. So yeah.
I think when I was I think maybe like the 6th grade, we had like this sex ed class, and I remember them telling us to grab a mirror and just look at your vagina. Just grab a mirror and look at your vagina and just like explore it. And I think from that conversation on, like that stuck in my head. I think a lot of women get a little bit like, squirmish when they hear that conversation. But I think it's very important to continuously learn about yourself. Like,
you would not believe how many women contact me or I have in session that tells me they've never looked at it. They've never looked at their own vagina, which is crazy to me. I'm like, it's yours. You give it out to other people to look at, but you're not willing to look at it yourself. Like, that's crazy to me.
I said you give it out to other people, but you don't know what you're giving.
But you look at it yourself.
Look like.
Right.
I popped out 2 kids, so I already know what it looked like down there before and after.
Right, but and this is something that goes back to masturbation and sex. If you have not had an orgasm or you don't feel connected to a partner, how could you be if you're not even connected to your own genitals?
Right. I think mentally you have to be there. You have to be, I think it's a whole like self-love thing that you got to have going on. And I think that when you aren't really confident in yourself, then your sex is really, really bad because trust me, I've been there and it doesn't feel really good. What else? Do you have any more toys? I think we're having a problem here. This connection, I cannot wait until this election is over, y'all. I swear to God, I was saying I cannot wait till this election is over because everybody is on Instagram right now. The server is probably going crazy. I said, do you have any more toys to show us?
Knocking over dildos. Just this one. This is like one of my favorite vibrators that I actually got for free. I got it at some like toy show. No, I got this at the Sex Expo and like a gift bag. And this is a small one. You can actually get it on Amazon for like $25. And this thing, Lord have mercy. Like,
is it really that powerful?
I don't know if y'all can hear it.
Yes, you can hear it. We can hear it. You can't be discreet with that either.
Yeah, this thing packs a lot of power. It can get you off in like 10 seconds, I swear. Like it's
Really?
so I like sometimes I have to turn it down because I'm oh shit. Turns into like a different pulse pattern, but
I'm
this
gonna list all the things. I'm gonna list all the things in my story. All the things you have to send me. All the links.
I will.
Where
I'll send
else
you
can
all the
people
links. This is
find
a
you?
great Christmas gift. Or if you got a friend going through a
Yes.
divorce or somebody just had a baby, like this is a great gift. Legit, I had to track it down because it came in like a gift bag, and I was like, I need to know who makes this and who it's by because this is amazing. And I've used it during sex, and let me tell you, whew, it has brought on a couple of orgasms back to back
Really?
because like within having intercourse and then adding this on top, like I was taken out. So I'll
Hmm.
send y'all the link.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna. So you guys know I always do a gift every 30, like every 10th episode. So I'm coming up on my 30th episode soon. So I don't know. Maybe I will get that information and gift it to one of my viewers, one of my
Ooh,
female viewers. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'll figure it out because I gotta get something for everybody. You know, as far as the 30th episode is coming up, so I gotta make sure I got something really good. So where can anybody find you, and what do you have coming out next that we should look out for?
yeah. Please follow me here at Sex Therapist Jen. Here on IG. You can email me at sextherapistjen@gmail.com. You can listen to my podcast now. I didn't have that when I was on here
Yes.
before. So you can tune
Yes,
into
I
my
saw.
podcast, Love, Lust, and Lies. New episodes drop every Wednesday. We are on all streaming podcast platforms. So please tune in where we talk about sex, love, relationships. I'm talking about anything and everything. I'm talking about my
Okay.
own personal fetish stories, me shooting porn, me with a dom. Like I'm telling it all. But if you're just interested in therapy, you can totally find me through Instagram or email. And I'm still doing private parties. So like I'm obviously like we're not doing any blowjob classes for the public right now
Okay.
because of COVID, but we are doing private parties. So you can always email me if you're interested in having a private blowjob party
Okay.
hosted by me and my business partner.
Okay. I'll definitely go ahead and I'm already in touch with you, so I'll definitely keep in contact with you. I want to thank you again for coming on. You know, I had a blast with you the first time. It's always informative and educational
Thanks.
when I speak to you. You're such a light. You're so pleasant and so informative. You know what I mean?
Thank
So I want to
you.
just thank you again. I definitely appreciate it. Jen is one of these people that I've connected with over COVID, and I just want to keep in touch with her and keep promoting whatever it is that she's doing. So watch out for my story. I will be promoting her podcast, and I will have all the information on all the toys we talked about. Okay.
Yes, I'll
So
send them.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I
Thank
did two
you.
interviews in one night. I am done. I'm done tonight. Good night, everyone.
Good night.